when the news doesn't get in the way. I say this whenever I plan a guest. I was like, dude, if something breaks in the news and we don't talk about it, you're going to be exposed to a very angry chat who's going to say, this is all nice, but holy crap, did Pam Bondi pull a 180 and right the ship? Or is it smoke and mirrors, as some people think, and just a little raw meat to placate the crowd and nothing's going to happen? We'll see. But for now, I was on with Benny Johnson this morning. The breaking news of the day. I love it. I get a text. I'm like deciding what to do with the family. It's it's not spring break. It's summer break. Got to entertain at least 3 to 5 kids, depending on the day. And we were about to decide to go to the beach. And I get the message like, hey, Viva, can you pop on to discuss the breaking news? To which I say, what breaking news of which you speak, Team Benny Johnson? And they say, you didn't see this tweet from Pam Bondi? To which I reply, no, I did not see the tweet. I don't know, I'm speaking like a pirate today. This is the latest breaking news of the day as relates to the Epstein file. The story that just won't go away because A, other people keep talking about it because they're interested in it. And B, the administration keeps talking about it ostensibly because they want people to stop talking about it, which is the exact opposite way you get people to stop talking about something you want them to stop talking about, by telling them to stop talking about it. Serenity now. Attorney General Pam Bondi at AG Pam Bondi writes, statement from DAG, that is Attorney General Todd Blanche. What does the D stand for? Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who last week put out a tweet, which I found curious, to the effect that everybody signed off on that magic midnight leaked Axios memo that nobody signed off on. Todd Blanche, statement from Todd Blanche. Listen to this. It's good. I'm not needling them today. I'm saying this is one of those cases of better late than never because it's not too late yet. The Department of Justice does not shy away. Do I do my British voice here? No, Todd Blanche isn't British. This Department of Justice does not shy away from uncomfortable truths, nor the responsibility to pursue justice wherever the facts may lead. The joint statement by the DOJ and FBI of July 6 remains as accurate today as when it was written. But it's coming, people. Namely, listen to this, and it's very, very important to read things critically with the eye of an attorney. It's not for nothing. The statement remains as accurate today as it was when it was written. That is like saying it's true today. However, the reason for which I'm reminding you of that is because it requires clarification. And here's the clarification. It remains as true today as it was when it was written. Namely, that in a recent thorough review of the files maintained by the FBI in the Epstein case, no evidence was uncovered that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. I've highlighted the important words there, and I put out a tweet in response to this saying, these are the important words, people. Namely, in a thorough review of the files maintained by the FBI. This was what I've been saying since day one. How the hell can anyone rely on those files that had hitherto been maintained by a treasonous conspiracy of an administration under Obama, to a lesser degree because this sort of broke afterwards, but it predates Obama. Wait a minute, does it predate Obama? Yes, it does predate Obama, a little bit. How can anyone rely on the review of that file that was maintained by that criminal FBI? And I'm talking about the Biden administration and the Obama administration. Now they're saying it. Well, when we told you that Epstein killed himself, that there was no blackmail material and no client list, it was because we had reviewed the file maintained by the prior criminal DOJ FBI. And I'm not saying that they were involved in criminal investigations. I say that they were involved in criminality. So what they're telling you right now is what we said when we said it was true, because based on the review of the deficient file that we had, we saw no evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. You'll remember what I said. How the hell can you rely on that file? Now we've had Trump finally come out after a little bit of pushback, which I think did have a little bit of impact. Maybe I think too much of myself, of the, I'll say, dissident voices, the nagging voices who would say, we're not letting you forget about this just yet. And no, we're not ready to move on. And by the way, this is a rollout that's going to cause unwarranted, unnecessary, and distracting problems. They're saying exactly what I had been saying from the beginning. That file was bogus. That file was corrupt. That file was altered. I think more evidence was deleted than manufactured. They're saying it now. All right, everybody. When we said there was suicide, no list, no blackmail. It's because we were reviewing the file that James Comey and Brennan and whoever the hell the other one guy was gave to us. Okay. Now, President Trump has told us to release all credible evidence. If Ghislaine Maxwell has information about anyone who has committed crimes against victims, the FBI and the DOJ will hear what she has to say. Fine. And by the way, I could hear everybody out there saying, why the hell wasn't Pam Bondi doing this on day one? This isn't the time when I will abide by Scott Adams. You can always say, you can say, why didn't you do it on day one? You can't say why you didn't do it before day one. We're 6 months in. We haven't passed any critical deadline that makes something uncorrectable, any errors. So it could have been done earlier. It's going to be good enough if it's going to get done now, because the word on the street is that Maxwell is ready to talk. Therefore, at the direction of the Attorney General Bondi, I have communicated with counsel for Ms. Maxwell to determine whether she would be willing to speak with prosecutors from the department. I anticipate meeting with Ms. Maxwell in the coming days. Until now, no administration on behalf of the department had inquired about her willingness to meet with the government. That changes now. I'm not going to take a victory lap, but I am going to tell everybody out there who said, if you keep pushing this Epstein stuff and don't shut up, you are the actual protector of pedos, to politely go suck a lemon. If you think that maybe this all happens if everyone had just shut up and said, yep, we believe that memo, cut and dry, thank you, moving on. Maybe this would have happened nonetheless. We will never know what might have happened had what not occurred. But I'm a little skeptical that we would have gotten here if people had just shut their mouths like they were being implored and browbeaten into doing. So they're going to sit down. Apparently, Ghislaine, I don't know how to pronounce her name because I'm not pronouncing it to be deliberately crude or crass. I don't know if it's Ghislaine. Maxwell is now prepared to talk, allegedly. Let me bring this one up here. Trump administration seeks Ghislaine Maxwell meeting in Epstein investigation. If you think this happens without the loud pushback from loyal Trump supporters, people who want to see Trump succeed and not see Trump's presidency get mired down in unnecessary controversy, if you think that happens without those voices, we'll never know, but I'll kindly say it happened and those voices happened, so you can decide causation or correlation. President Trump directs the release of all credible evidence as Justice Department pursues uncomfortable truths. Department of Justice signaled a shift in approach to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. By the way, Fox News, they're not, they're not the best. They're better than CNN. And the bottom line is whether or not I think that they are the cheerleader of the administration, that's fine. When they recognize that there's been a shift in approach, that's the polite way of saying there's been a shift in the approach. There's been a shift in the approach. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche revealing he's reached out to Ghislaine and gauge her willingness to cooperate. Blanche confirmed Tuesday that under the direction of the Attorney General Bondi, they're now open to hearing what Maxwell might have to say regarding uncharged individuals who may have participated in Epstein's criminal enterprise. We've got that. We read that letter. The House Oversight Committee also took action in this case Tuesday by voting to subpoena Maxwell, requiring her to appear for deposition. Oh, look at the sex trafficking lovebirds. A House Oversight Committee source told Fox News the committee will move to quickly subpoena Maxwell. She's in federal prison. The committee will coordinate with the DOJ and the Bureau of Prisons to schedule her deposition, they said. In the statement, okay, we got that. We saw that part of the thing. Sources told Fox News that Bongino, who signed off on the memo, complained about it in private following backlash. Bongino never signed off on the memo. Period. Full stop. Neither did Bondi, neither did Patel, neither did Todd Blanche. You know why I suspect Bongino didn't sign off on that memo? Because he would never have signed off on that memo. Same thing for Patel. You know why Bondi did not sign off on that memo? Because she couldn't sign off on that memo because that memo contradicted statements that came out of Bondi's mouth for the last 6 months. 5 months. Nobody signed off on that memo. The new outreach to Maxwell marks the first time, according to Blanche, that any administration had approached her legal team with an inquiry into potential cooperation. That changes now. Go down here. Okay, we got this. We got that she was convicted in 2021 of helping Epstein traffic teen girls. She was sentenced to 20 years, has appealed her case to the Supreme Court. According to prosecutors and survivors' testimony, Maxwell helped recruit and groom underage girls, arrange travel and housing, as well as facilitate abuse at Epstein's owned properties. It doesn't say only by Epstein. Victims described Maxwell as a trusted adult figure who manipulated, coerced, yada, yada, yada. DOJ and FBI declined to comment. That's the news. And the question's going to be now, I say it not to be glib, not to be funny, because, and not even every fear hides a wish. There's no wish here. This is an outright fear. God forbid, if something happens to Ghislaine Maxwell and Maxwell gets Epstein, whatever happened to Epstein, what do you possibly think is going to happen? Not in terms of consequences of action, but consequences of trust. If Maxwell gets Epstein, you think, forget the right and Trump supporters never abandoning the story. This is going to confirm every single conspiracy theory, and I say the unhinged, maniacal conspiracy theories of the left, that Trump is on the list. He's doing it to protect himself. They better take good care of Ghislaine Maxwell. And that means no overworked security guards, no malfunctioning cameras. She's not suicidal. You better protect Ghislaine Maxwell. And when she gets out, people are going to say we can't trust a word out of her mouth. She's got ties to Mossad because her father was connected to Mossad. We'll see when we get there. I mean, you can't complain when you're making progress after having gotten some things that you have been clamoring for the last little while. The bottom line, this is a damn good step in the damn right direction. If Ghislaine Maxwell gets Epstein, holy sweet merciful hell, it will be bedlam. And